Hello and welcome to Cashmatics. In this lesson, I'll show you how to identify regions described by inequalities. Now, in order to understand this lesson, you're going to need to know how to draw graphs of straight lines. And if you don't, I suggest you watch my video on graphs of straight lines. Otherwise, grab some paper and a pen and let's get started. Now, before we begin, we need to make sure we understand some basics. So the symbols on the left, you should understand by now. The top one is greater than or equal to. The next one is just greater than. Then we've got less than or equal to, and then less than. And when we're drawing inequalities, the type of line we draw depends on the inequality. So we draw a solid line if you want it to represent greater than or equal to or less than or equal to, and a dashed line if it's just greater than or just less than. The other thing we need to know is how to draw some basic lines. So if you look at the axes on the right, at the top here we've got y equals 5. So that would be a line straight across there. So that line is y equals 5. Next we've got x equals minus 2. So that would be a vertical line down there. Then we have y equals 2x plus 1. Now because it's 2x plus 1, that means it crosses through that point there. And then I just need a couple of other points. So let's just say x equals 3. So x equals 2. So 2x plus 1 would be 5. And let's say x equals minus 2. So minus 2 times 2 would be minus 2 times 3 is minus 4 plus 1 is minus 3. And I just draw a line through those points. And for the last one, 3x plus 4y equals 12. What I would do here is I'd pick two coordinates. And if you remember from before, when x equals 0, I work out the y coordinate, and when y equals 0, I work out the x coordinate. So if x equaled 0, then I'd get 4y equals 12, which means y is 3. And if y equals 0, that means 3x would equal 12, and x would equal 4. So I'd plot 0, 3, and 4, 0, and join those with a straight line. Now, if any of that confused you, you really do need to go back and watch the other videos on graphs of straight lines. So please don't go any further if you haven't understood what we've done so far, because the drawing the lines part will be done quite quickly. It's the identifying the regions that will be taking my time with. So what I have here is 4 examples, and what I'm going to do is identify the regions described by these inequalities on the axes. So let's do the first one. I've got y is greater than 2. Now the first thing I do is I just draw the line y equals 2. That would be there. And because it's only greater than, I need to make sure this is not a solid line, but a dashed line. And now I've just got to identify the region. It's either going to be above the line or below the line. And if you just pick any coordinate, so just imagine I picked that one there. Now, what does it say about the y coordinate? The y coordinate here is 4, which is greater than 2. So the region I need to shade in is the region above the line. So that region there would be for y is greater than 2. Now let's move on to the next one. So the first thing I need to do is draw the line x equals 4, which would be there. Now because it's less than or equal to 4, that would make it a solid line. And hopefully you should be able to figure out that the x coordinate is going to be less than 4 to the left of that line. So all I need to do is shade the region to the left of that line. For the next one, I've got y is greater than x plus 2. So I need to draw the line y equals x plus 2. So y equals x plus 2 will cross the y-axis at 2, and I just pick another coordinate. So for example, when x equals 4, y would equal 6, and I join those with a line. And because it's only greater than and not greater than or equal to, I need to make that a dashed line. And then I want the bits which are greater than x plus 2. Now it will be greater than x plus 2 above the line and less than x plus 2 below the line. But if you're not sure, all you need to do is pick a coordinate, so a nice easy coordinate, and just see if y is bigger than x plus 2. So this coordinate here is 1, 5, okay, and x plus 2, so 1 plus 2 is 3, and 5 is bigger than 3, so that means y is bigger than x plus 2. So I just need to shade in above the line. Okay, and the last one, I've got 3x plus 5y is less than or equal to 15. So remember, with these ones we need two pairs of coordinates. Okay, when x is 0, that would make y 3. and when y is 0, that would make x 5. So let's plot these points. So 0, 3 is here, 5, 0 is here. I would join those with a solid line this time. And then what I need to do is identify the right side. Now it's equal to 15 on the line, so 3x plus 5y would be equal to 15 on the line. So below the line, it'll be less than 15. Okay, so I need to shade the part below the line. But if I wasn't sure, I could just pick a point. So for example, I might pick that point there. That's a nice easy one, 1, 1, and just work out what 3x plus 5y is. So 3x would be 3, 5y would be 5, 3 plus 5 is less than 15. So we've got the right region. So here's 4 for you to try. Pause the video and give them a go. Right, so I'm just about to reveal the answers. So here we go. Okay, so pay close attention to the type of line I've drawn, so whether it's solid or whether it's dashed, and then make sure you've got the right region. So in this next example, I'm going to try to identify the region enclosed by these 3 inequalities. So we'll start as we did before, and we'll draw the line y equals 10. Okay, so that one is y equals 10, but I want it to be less than 10, so I want to make sure that one is a dashed line. Then I'm going to draw x equals 6. Okay, so that line is x equals 6. But I need that to be solid because I've got a less than or equal to 6. And here I'm going to draw 4x plus 3y equals 24. Okay, so let me just write some coordinates in. So 0, 0. Okay, so when x equals 0, y equals 8. And when y equals 0, x would equal 6. So I need 0, 8, which is here. I need 6, 0, which is here. And you just need to draw a straight line between them. And because it's just greater than, I need that line to be dashed. So I'll just make sure that line is dashed. Right, okay, and what I need to do now is identify the region which is applicable. Now rather than shading in what I need, I want to shade out what I don't need. Okay, but whatever you do, make sure you do what the exam question is telling you to do. All right, but in this case, I'm just going to shade out the bits I don't want. So I want y to be less than 10, which means anything which is greater than 10 I don't want. So I don't want any of that. Okay, so please make sure you remember I don't want any of that. I want the bits which are less than 6, so x is less than or equal to 6. So this is where 6 is. So I want to keep the region to the left of that line. So I'm going to shade out the region to the right of it. And for the last one, I want 4x plus 3y to be bigger than 24. Now if it's equal to 24 on the line, it'll be bigger than 24 above the line and less than 24 below the line. So I want to get rid of the bit which is below the line. So this region R is the correct region. So you need to identify that with an R usually. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to pick a coordinate and make sure it works for all of these inequalities. So I'm just going to pick a coordinate like that one there, which is 2, 8. And I'm going to check to make sure all these are satisfied. So first of all, is the y coordinate less than 10? Yes, it is. Is the x coordinate less than or equal to 6? Yes, it is. And is 4x plus 3y bigger than 24? So 4x, that'd be 4 times 2 plus 3 times 8, and that would equal 8 plus 24, which is 32, and 32 is bigger than 24, so I can tick that one as well. Right, so here's one for you to try. Pause the video and give it a go. Now I'm not going to reveal the whole answer at once. I'm going to do a partial reveal. So here we go, and these are the 3 lines you should have drawn. Okay, and only one of them is going to be a dashed line, and that's the one for x equals 6. Okay, because the inequality says x is less than 6, so that line must be dashed. And what I'm going to do now is make sure I shade the right regions. So what I've done here is I've shaded out the bits I don't want. So that region R is the region that is described or identified using these 3 inequalities. So let's just pick a point. Let's pick a point here. Okay, so that one's 5, 4. And we're just going to check to make sure each of these inequalities work. So is the y coordinate greater than 2? So that's the y coordinate. Yes, it is greater than 2, or greater than or equal to 2. Yes, it is. Okay, is the x coordinate less than 6? Which is that one. Yes, it is. and is the y coordinate less than 2 times the x coordinate take away 4. So 2 times the x coordinate is 10, 10 take away 4 is 6, and is y less than 6? Yes, it is. And lastly, we're going to do the question in reverse. So this time I've given you the equations of the lines. Okay, don't worry that these say equals. That's just the equation of what the line is, not the inequality. Okay, and what you need to do is identify the inequality shaded in blue. All right, so you need to identify that region with some inequalities. Right, so let's have a look. Let's look at this line here. Y equals 14. So it's below that line. Okay, so y would be less than or equal to 14. Okay, so I use the less than or equal to symbol because it's a solid line. According to this line here, it's to the right of that line, so the x coordinates are bigger than 2 on that side. So x is bigger than or equal to 2. Okay, again, it's bigger than or equal to because it's a solid line. And the last one, y is equal to 2x plus 4 on the line, so above the line it'll be greater than 2x plus 4. So y is greater than 2x plus 4, and it's only greater than because it's a dashed line. And just like before, we can use a coordinate to check to see if you've got this right. Right, and here's a question for you. So you need to identify the region shaded in blue. So pause the video, give it a go, and remember to check your answers with a coordinate. Now, I've made it a little bit more difficult because it's got four lines, but you should still be able to do it. So pause the video and give it a go. So let's have a look. Let's start with this line over here. Okay. Now the region we want is below that line. So I'd say y is less than 2x plus 6, and that's because it's a dashed line. Let's go for this one next. Okay, it's above that line, so y is bigger than or equal to 2. That's because it's a solid line. Let's go for this one next. So on the line, that's when 2x plus y is equal to 10. So below the line is what we need. Okay, so that would be 2x plus y is less than or equal to 10. So less than or equal to because it's solid. And the last one, this one here, is to the right of it. So any coordinates to the right of it would be bigger than a half. So x is bigger than 1/2. Okay, and that's only greater than because it's a dashed line. So just like before, let's pick a coordinate. Let's pick a nice easy one. So we've got this one over here. Okay, that is 1, 4, and let's see if it works. Okay, let's do the easy ones first. Is the y coordinate bigger than 2? Yes, it is, because it's 4. Is the x coordinate bigger than a half? Yes, it is. It's 1. Is y less than 2x plus 6? So 2 times 1 is 2. 2 plus 6 is 8, and 4 is less than 8, so that works. Okay, and is 2x plus y less than 10? So 2 times 1 is 2. 2 plus 4 is 6. Is that less than or equal to 10? Yes, it is. So that's the correct region identified. So I hope that's helped, and I hope you've been able to see how straightforward it is once you know how to actually plot straight lines. So yeah, that's it for now, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.